would Simon Cowell say about your business? Now, I'm sure you know who Simon Cowell is. He is the brash, he is the blunt judge on, America's Got Talent, and he did some shows over here in England and the UK. But you probably know him as somebody who is brash, who doesn't take excuses, who usually points out, if somebody is untalented, he points out that they shouldn't be on stage, that they need to be looking for another career. And sometimes he pops, the bubble of people who are deluding themselves, thinking that they are going to fill out a stadium just like Madonna, and they haven't got a tune in their head. So he's very good at being honest with you like that and popping people's bubbles. Now, you don't have to use Simon Cowell. You can use any hero of yours, but if that hero of yours was sitting beside you today, if they were watching you working away at the keyboard, if they were watching you on social media, if they were watching you creating your podcast episode, or whatever it is that you are doing, would they be impressed by what you're doing? Unfortunately, we have a tendency to delude ourselves, a tendency to think that every action we take is important. That we need to spend half an hour just finding the perfect font for our report, or that we need to, go over to Canva and create the perfect thumbnail for that YouTube video or the podcast episode or whatever it is, or maybe spend half an hour trying to come up with the best kind of clickbait, blog title or whatever it is. And unfortunately, sometimes we do delude ourselves thinking that whatever actions we are taking right now are the most important things. But unfortunately, we are the best person at fooling ourselves. And sometimes it helps if you kind of mentally lift yourself out of where you are and slot your hero in instead. So if you can imagine you were somebody who needed to lose weight and who looked up to The Rock, you can imagine if you went to the gym, went through your kind of motions of just, putting the treadmill on the slowest speed and still thinking that you were going to lose weight. What would The Rock say to you? What advice would he have for you? Would he not turn up that treadmill and say, hey, you need to work faster if you're going to need to lose weight? Or what if you had maybe Dan Kennedy sitting in on your shoulder today? How would he say to you, or what would he say to you if he saw that you spent an hour on social media and you weren't getting anywhere? It was just simple distraction, that there was no way you were actually going to sell any books or get any leads or whatever it is, but you stupidly were deluding yourself thinking that action was kind of working in your favour. So try that out today. If you have a hero, again, I have a couple of heroes of mine that I slot in from time to time when I'm being a little bit lazy, or when I maybe are thinking of maybe reaching for the remote control to watch Netflix or something like that. Sometimes I have a little voice in the back of my head that's not my own. It's usually one of my heroes that will kind of say to me, should you really be doing this? Isn't there something better that you could be doing? Do you really need to change that font, for the 50th time? It's perfect as it is, let it go. Do you not think you should be doing a video right now rather than doing something else? So you will find that, slotting a hero into your head, or putting them kind of behind the steering wheel of you today, will probably make you take better actions. Might actually make you take bigger risks than you used to, or take on things that you never would have thought of before. In one of the cases, I sometimes slot Dan Meredith into my mind. Now, if you don't know who Dan Meredith is, I highly recommend you head over to Facebook and do a search for Coffee with Dan, and that is Dan's group over there. But it's really, really a productive group, and Dan himself is a wonderful person for motivating people and getting them to take action. Now, one of the things Dan used to always drum into everybody, and he even mentioned in his book, was that give things a go. The way that he has a theory is that you should fire first and then aim later. Take the actions that you need to do, see if them actions are productive, and then kind of tweak the process then until you improve on it. And because of Dan, I probably have taken on a lot of actions that I wouldn't have done before. I wouldn't be doing these videos, I wouldn't be doing podcasts, I wouldn't be doing a lot of things. But because I had slotted Dan into the steering wheel in my mind rather than the little me, it made me take on more actions than I used to do. And because of that, I've created a lot more content in a lot of different areas that I would never ever have thought of and was always afraid to do. But I simply had taken me, the little me, out and put Dan in. So Dan is one of my heroes, and he has helped me a lot in this past couple of years. I haven't actually hired him as a coach, but I have hired him as a kind of imaginary coach who was with me every day. And if I'm feeling a little bit down, or if I'm feeling maybe a little bit unconfident, or if I think maybe I shouldn't be doing this, I would think to myself, what would Dan do in this situation? So What you can do is you can take something that I do, slot your hero in. Again, could be Simon Cowell if you need somebody who is brutally honest with you. It could be somebody like The Rock who could inspire or motivate you. Maybe somebody who you know that has gone maybe from rags to riches, but who is maybe in the business that you're in. Could you slot them into your kind of mental space in your head and look through your actions or whatever you're doing today through their eyes, and I'm sure you'll probably start taking better action. You'll probably do things like I've done that I never ever would have done before. You'll probably stop doing those stupid things like changing the font for the 40th time because it's perfect. Just get it done and get it out there, rather than tweaking and playing around with it and kind of digitally pushing papers around, but not actually, getting anything done. So try that out today. Slot in Simon, The Rock, or whatever it is, somebody that motivates you, somebody that inspires you, and look through their eyes. Maybe it'll give you a little bit of courage, a little bit of motivation, or it might help you see the parts of your business that you're simply deluding yourself with and they need to stop. But unfortunately you can't see them because you are your own worst enemy. So it might help maybe just to slot somebody else in and see if that helps you. So if you'd like to know more about these videos, or if you'd like me to cover something in an upcoming video or podcast episode, if you reach out to barryjmcdonald@gmail.com, or if you'd like to know more where all this content is, if you do a search for WriteCome, that's WriteCome.com, you'll find the content all over the web, and the podcast and the videos are on YouTube. And if you come over to the WriteCome site right now, we have a great free report that's called Words to Wealth, and in it I'm going to show you 10 different ways you can make money from your keyboard. So if that intrigues you or you'd like to give it a go, head on over to WriteCome now, download the free report and let me know how you get on with it. So as always, thanks for sharing your time again today. Take care, have a great day. Bye bye.